Hi guys, Brenda Smith. I'm back here with you again to share with you another hybrid process video. This time I'm using just Jaimee's Raine collection. This is the Storyteller collection for April 2015, and I really love the colors in this collection. There's all kinds of bright, happy colors, and I thought it was quite perfect for a trip that I took to an amusement park with my daughter and my niece and my brother. As always, I begin in Photoshop and I open up a 24 by 12 inch canvas, and I keep in mind what page protectors I will be using. I got these new page protectors by SEI, and they have 3 4x6s and the rest 3x4s, and I was really eager to use them, and there were so many good 4x6 cards in this collection that I thought that it would be perfect for this. So primarily what I'm using as far as cards go are the ones that were from her Carnival add-on pack, just because they were too perfect for an amusement park visit not to use. So I am putting as many as I can of those onto here, and now I'm going to go through and just add my photos and develop them to make them just a little bit brighter. So if you've watched my last video, you might have noticed that the way that I get these photos down to the exact right size at 4x6 or 3x4 is I use the shape tool to make a rectangle in that size. So in this instance, I used the shape tool to make a rectangle in the 4x6 size, and then I clipped my photo to that rectangle. There you will see me merging the rectangle and the photo, and then adding the stroke. I merge before I add the stroke because otherwise the stroke doesn't get added on all four sides. I don't usually make a page, a full spread about just one day, but I had so many photos from this event, and it was something special that I wanted to mark because my daughter does not get to see her cousin very often since she lives a couple hours away, and they really are best friends, so this was such a special day. And when I was a kid, we used to go to this very same amusement park, so it was fun to share this memory with her. So I just went ahead and made a full spread on it, and there were so many great photos to choose from. This picture right now of her wearing this hat from Knott's Berry Farm, there's a picture of myself wearing the same hat when I was maybe a little bit younger than she was. So I was thinking this was still going to go in my album. This happened in March, so I'm going to put it in my monthly March section for 2015, but I figured I will also add that hat photo to a comparison between myself, the picture of myself wearing it when I was a kid, and then a picture of her wearing it, just in a regular spread that I'll do later on. But I don't really have any qualms with using the same photos over again in my same Project Life album, so I used it on this page as well. So you see me kind of moving the cards around, and as I'm adding in the photos, I'm realizing that some of the cards don't work where I initially put them, and that's for me to be expected. I do that every time when I make a page. I start off putting the cards somewhere, and inevitably they end up somewhere else when I'm finished. So just as I add the photos, I'm kind of getting a feel for what looks good next to each other, and then again keeping in mind a balance of color and also of weight. So if there's a card that is particularly heavy, such as that awesome card down in the left corner, that card is not necessarily heavy, but it is, full. So I'm kind of trying to balance the weight of that with a lighter cards near it. So I have this compulsion to not have two photos or two cards next to each other. I usually like to do it in every other, so photo card, photo card, photo card. But this page protector is kind of making that system a little bit more challenging for me. And it really is just an OCD thing of mine, because when I see other people's pages that have 4 photos all in a row, I think they look great, but I just can't seem to reconcile that for my own pages. So I'm having to move things around a little bit extra here, but also kind of having to give up that little bit of OCD, because the way that this page protector is laid out, it's not entirely possible to not have 2 cards touching each other. So I will keep forging ahead at it, but it is bugging me just a little bit. I wanted to add one more 4x6 photo to this page, but that also means giving up one of the 4x6 cards that I had put in on the left side there. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out which spot it looks better in and which card fits overall. Fits better overall, and I think that that polka dot just kind of fits with the mood that I have going on with this page, and also with the colors of the other cards that I chose. So I put that airplane picture in up there, and now I'm just putting in a couple more photos to finish off the page before I start with the journaling and the embellishing. I'm moving over the story card and putting in a photo again because of my compulsion that I was talking about. But I wanted to put in this photo of my daughter and her cousin, and I have already used this card probably on 2 other pages that I've made, but I just love it so much, and I think that it was kind of just the perfect first picture for this spread. So what I wanted to do for this page, instead of adding the drop shadows and printing out my embellishments on top of my photos or cards just as one layer like I have before, I wanted to show you how you can print and cut out these embellishments by themselves using your silhouette, and then that way you can kind of add a little bit more dimension with them. You have a little bit more flexibility. So I'm going around and placing all the embellishments that I imagine wanting to use on this spread, and then the ones like the word art and the other kind of paper embellishments, not the paint, I will put onto a different file and then print and cut later on. For this card with the Hello Sunshine, I wanted the journaling to kind of perfectly fit into the space that the Hello Sunshine will leave on that little journaling spot there. So I waited to add the journaling until I put that embellishment on. And I'm just going through and just writing down a little note about the special friendship that my daughter and her cousin have. One of the things that I really like about Jaimee's Storyteller collections is all the paint that she includes, and I think that paint like this is a perfect opportunity to add a little bit of color to my photos or even to cards without overwhelming them with too much color. So as you can see, that was actually a much bigger paint splotch, probably meant for layout designers, but they can still be sized down and still look great and add a very vibrant pop of color to my photos. And I kind of on that picture of the girls in their hats, I kind of used it to cover up that table in the background. It was a little bit distracting, so I'm probably not going to put anything on top of that paint spread, just because I anticipate wanting to use a physical embellishment there. So now that I have all my embellishments in place, I'm going to create an 8.5 by 11 document and simply drag those embellishments, the paper embellishments that I plan on printing out, onto my new 8.5 by 11 canvas. I'm making sure that I grabbed all of them, and I'm just kind of placing them down toward the center. That way they don't interfere with the registration marks that we will add in Silhouette. I'm saving the file as a PNG, and I just saved it on my desktop for easy access. And in Silhouette there, I changed my paper size to 8.5 by 11. You can do that in your design page settings, and in that pull-down menu, it allows you to change the paper size. Now I went up to the registration marks menu and just added them for my type of machine, which is a Cameo. Here you will see me in the trace menu. I selected the trace area. I turned off the high pass filter. I turned the threshold all the way up to 100%, and then I traced the outer edge. So now I'm just prepping for printing by removing all of these elements that I am already printing out with my Silhouette. I just click on that little trash icon with the layers highlighted. Then what I will do is I'll use a script that I told you guys about last time that splits these into two 12 by 12 JPEGs, and then I will open those up again and use another script that splits them into individual 4x6 so I can print them up on my 4x6 matte photo paper. After that is done, I will go into Silhouette and print out my elements. I need to adjust the print settings just to a scale of 98% so it prints out at the proper size. I figured that out for my printer. print it up, and then I put it on the mat, and I send it to be cut by the silhouette machine. It will need to read the registration marks first, and then it will cut them out for me. Once back in my Photoshop, I will open up all of those 4x6s and get them ready for printing. You will see me adjusting the size just a little bit, again because my printer prints them out a little bit big, so I need to do that. But this is me laying them all out and doing the physical embellishing, and I will play a song for you while I finish this off. And this is my finished spread. So after the physical embellishing that you just saw me doing, I just took over some of the cards to my sewing machine and just added a few zigzag and straight stitches just for a little bit of added visual interest. And I really like how it turned out. I like the added dimension that I got from actually printing out the embellishments as opposed to just printing them out as one layer. And I see myself doing this quite a bit more in the future. It wasn't really that much extra effort, and I do really like the look that it gave me. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I hope that I was able to teach you something. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Thank you.